Thank you.
Gina, there's been many male athletes that have made the transition from athletics to movies, but it's hard to name a woman. So why do you think that is, and how's the transition been for you?
Well, I think that I think it's really hard for these because when people get to know an athlete, they get to know the athlete for who they are, and they fall in love with that person. And so it's really hard for these fans to give up that knowledge of that person and allow them to explore maybe a different character. And so I think that's why we haven't been able to see it as much and as often as we'd like. But I hope people start allowing their minds to realize that when they are watching somebody play sports, yeah, they're watching and they're enjoying them because they're good at what they do, but they're also watching a person express themselves. And if they can express themselves like that, imagine the other ways that they could express themselves given the opportunity. And so when these athletes are retired and when they can't do their sport anymore, there should be an outlet somewhere. Because we obviously loved watching them do something physical, so why not let them, you know, at least explore doing something else.
What's it been like for you?
What's it been like for me? It's been amazing. I mean, I've always been kind of always wanted to do something artistic and express myself, you know, some way like that. But I wasn't a very good painter. I'm not very good at art. And the way I've been expressing myself my whole life has been physically. And so now I can bring that over into film and really represent my sport in a way and put some really realistic MMA moves into film. And I think that people hopefully will enjoy that.
Ewan McGregor has talked about how impressed everyone was with your athletic ability. What's the most difficult thing you had to learn or get used to in terms of acting versus, you know, actually fighting?
I think that you just have to be vulnerable and not afraid, and really just okay with putting yourself out there and taking direction. And, you know, it was my first time, so I'm like, how is this going to turn out? Like, what kind of movie is this going to be? You know, and I've talked to a lot of them, actually, and they're like, you know, you never know sometimes. Sometimes when you're filming a movie, you just don't know what the outcome is going to be. And you have to, like, give that to the director. And thank goodness I was surrounded by the best director I could have possibly worked with. And, you know, he brought me into it. So I knew that he was a man with a vision that knew exactly what he wanted to do. And he was going to do anything he could to make it, you know, the right fit.
If you had to choose between acting and competing, which would you choose?
I would love to do more acting. I would love that. I've been fighting for the last 9 years of my life, so acting to me is new and fresh, and it has a longer lifespan to it. So if I could do more acting and, you know, bring some more whatever myself to the big screen, I'd of course love to do that.
You come from an athletic family. Do you have any special memory, athletic-wise, growing up?
Yeah, I definitely come from an athletic family. I think my most special moments was probably when we were riding horses, though. We were controlling these large animals, and, you know, we did, like, they're called gymkhanas, and we go and we do the barrel racing and poles and the key, and you're competing with this animal. And I had a horse named Caesar, who by far is my favorite animal in my life to date. His name was Caesar, and he was this crazy, aggressive, fast, he was a man's horse. Like, he used to be a roping horse. And we actually got him from my stepdad. And when I got on him, we just connected immediately, to the point where all, like, the women were looking at my parents sideways, like, you're gonna let her get on that animal? And when we would do our barrel racing and everything, we were just like one human. And I think that was my favorite. I mean, if I ever make enough money, I'll probably go buy myself another Caesar.
There's been a lot of talk about marketability of female athletes, and that includes you, of course. How much do you think Haywire can help you with your quote-unquote brand?
I think that Haywire is a wonderful addition to my life, and a wonderful representation of a female fighter. Because it's very believable, and there's a lot of women out there that can handle themselves. I'm not encouraging, like, women and men to go start fighting each other at all, but what I am encouraging is that, you know, females can be strong and they can do a certain amount of damage, and so that should be respected, you know, a little bit more than maybe it has in the past.
Okay, now last question. what does Gina, the movie star, do for MMA and the whole sport of MMA?
I think having me out here and doing something that a lot of the people in the sport haven't gotten to do, I think it gives people hope that that anything can happen in someone's life, and I think it gives them hope, you know, after fighting. Which to me, it's really nice to see, you know, our veteran fighters after they're done fighting have another career lined up behind them, because we're not getting paid what, you know, not even the famous men in our sport are getting paid what, you know, football players and baseball players are getting paid. So we have to find another sport after this, or another way to make money, and so hopefully it gives some hope.
Okay, great. You're done with the lights.